Hello and welcome back to SHRM Session 1, Part 2. In this session, we will cover the scope of SHRM. Your learning outcome for this lesson is to gain an understanding about the scope of SHRM covered in this module. SHRM is the process of aligning the business strategy with the company's human resource practices so as to attain strategic goals of an organization. In SHRM, the workforce of the company is managed proactively. That means SHRM involves the internal and the external environment. The scope of SHRM is wide and almost limitless. Let's look at this closely in the next slide. While HR would have operated with no concern of the external environment and no internal business functions in the past, today SHRM scope is so much more wider. As depicted in this picture, SHRM involves everything about the organization from culture, employees, organizational structure, physical assets, profit, and even cash flow. How is this? Let's assume that a fair percentage of employees are above 50 in a company. If so, it is not viable to invest in machinery that will not have considerations for limited mobility and slower pace. On the other hand, SHRM must have an idea and stay ahead of all macro environmental factors such as climate change, economy, environment, technology, politics, legislation, competition, media, and even fashion. And why is that? This is because SHRM deals with talent. It deals with employees who are all human beings. So everything that affects human beings affects SHRM. What do you mean by environment? In simple words, environment comprises all those forces which have their bearing on the function of various activities, including human resource activities. Environmental scanning helps HR managers to become proactive to the environment, which is characterized by change and intense competition. Human resource management is performed in two types of environments: internal environment and external environment. The internal environment consists of all the forces that are internal to an organization. These internal forces have a profound influence on HR functions. The internal environment of HRM consists of unions, organizational culture, conflict, professional bodies, organizational objectives, and policies, to name a few. The external environment, on the other hand, includes forces like the economy, politics, technology, and demographic factors. All of these exert considerable influence on SHRM. So, as you go through this module and also attempt the set assignment, you will find yourself analyzing SHRM in a very wide scope. Your learning and your research will mostly be around macro environmental trends, organizational structure, organizational culture, and legal changes in the environment. Much of your studying will involve the understanding that these factors will have on SHRM. It is your learning journey to understand how they will impact SHRM.